Hall of Famer Teddy Long, and right now we're getting ready to have a six-pack challenge match with Potsy and Tino on the Big Podcast Show. Holla at a player.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Potsy Pans Network proudly brings to you its Tag Team Champions of the World! The Road Dogg, Tino Gray, who's not even paying attention. The Badass, Rob Potsy Pochek. And tonight, Chris Barrett, hello. We will get to you in just a moment, my friend. Tonight, we have a special guest on the show. He is known from his own podcast. And, Terrence, why don't you go ahead and pop on in?
Piggler. Now, I want to get back to this. I'm not paying attention. Didn't he just tell me to make sure we were coming up on the pages? And so I'm looking at Facebook. I'm looking at YouTube. You better be paying attention. What the on? What none was it?
No, it turned off. I don't know what's going on. Can everybody hear us? Did you not hear anything that Tino just said? Thank goodness.
You get my rant? You want me to do it again?
No.
Okay.
So, we brought us a friend tonight. We got our buddy Terrence.
Hello, a.k.a. Tequila T. I am 1/4 of the Villains of Vinyl crew. That is our podcast for you. If you don't know, it's called Villains and Vinyl. We do podcasts on Saturday and Sunday we film. One is VCW, which is Villains Championship Wrestling. And then the other show is basically named after us, Villains of Vinyl, on Sunday. We are a cross of geek culture, hip-hop. We do wrestling, everything in between, so...
Chris Barrett says that our mic is hot.
The mic is hot.
So we are good to go. T, we've been trying to have you on the show for multiple weeks. In fact, last week we actually made fun of you pretty hard.
We did.
It's all good. I'm here now.
We made
my face.
Because we said that Terrence was supposed to be coming.
And I said, well, he's not coming here, but he's on his.
Bazinga! Yep!
So I've known Terrence for, God, it feels like 2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we obviously have a lot of the same interests, comics.
I was just looking at the slide.
he's listening to Teddy Long sitting there talking about us. But we've got the same interests. We've got comics. We've got movies. We've got wrestling. The two of you got hip hop. You know, like we got a lot.
I'm just noticing stuff now. I don't know what that is.
That is so. This Tino, this is what he's looking at. This is a printer cartridge.
Oh, I want this pen.
I don't know if that. Well, I don't know if you're allowed to have that pen.
Okay.
Like if you wanted one of these pens.
Oregon Trail.
You could. No, hold on. Tino talks about this every week. We literally have an original Oregon Trail. You will die of dysentery. So not dysentery.
That's going
like if you ever go into a Twitter rant against Terry Crews, you die of dysentery.
This might go missing on the move.
Well, that's not mine. So. Yeah, we're coming at you live from the Scrudio like we always do.
Scrudio.
That's right, Tino and I still harmonize. But we're coming at you from the Scrudio, and yes, that there is a possibility that over the next couple months, we may no longer come from the Scrudio. We may have to do more of the shows on StreamYard or possibly
From a new location.
From a brand new Scrudio 2.0.
Yes.
Will it still be the Scrudio?
It'll still be the Scrudio.
It'll still be the Scrudio.
I didn't understand why it was called Scrudio.
So we used to do a show, by the way, called Primitive Screwheads.
Yeah.
Oh.
And because we did Primitive Screwheads, we actually used to do it live from the Scrudio.
So we kept that going, but like, so when we first started doing this and we were doing it through Skype and everything, I was literally in my bedroom, so that was my studio.
I was going to have to wash any seats or anything around
No.
I got you. Okay.
No.
You come to my studio.
No. It literally was because of the show called Primitive Screwheads, which by the way, I miss. I keep telling Sarah and Tony Perrone that we need to bring it back. But right now, while movies are not in the theaters, it makes it very difficult to do what that show did, which was we literally did a podcast and live YouTube, not quite live YouTube show. That was before the YouTube stuff that we did. But it was truly just trying to discuss movies in a way that only the type of people that understand our humor could truly understand it. And Tino, you listened to a couple episodes. Like, it was...
I wanted to come on that one.
Like, we were funny, you and me. Potsy and the Turd were funny, me and Ward. But, like, me, Sarah and Tony, even just Sarah and Tony, which I just want to say serotonin. Mm-hmm. Sarah and Tony just had this vibe about them that their show, like, when you would listen to it, like, one of the episodes was all about Deadpool, and it was just about the movie Deadpool, the first one, and it was done in such a way that, like, anybody that listened to it would just be blown away by it. Like that show, that specific show, that episode, I think got 900 listens.
Wow.
You know, because it was that funny. And you know, I told them, I was like, guys, I'll produce your show, I'll do it, I'll, you know, whatever. And then all of a sudden, before I knew it, I was like, I want to be on that show. I gotta be on that show. So when we did the Avengers episode, I totally filibustered. I was on that show and I took over. You know, and that's just the way it was. So that's why this is called the Screwdio.
Gotcha. I don't know, when you sit here talking, for some reason I thought about the old Raven group in TNA for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why that popped in my head. I'm like, wasn't that group called
Serotonin?
CM Punk was part of them, right?
Not in TNA. Not in TNA. No. CM Punk was not. Billy Kidman may have been.
No, I think
Billy Kidman was the Flock.
Yeah.
And Billy Kidman was definitely the Flock.
Yeah, I don't think Kidman was in TNA.
But we're not even supposed to be talking about wrestling. Just
okay. Popped in my head.
But the reason why is because, Tino, R-Truth stole a segment from our show.
Well, he did for years. That was his thing.
No.
What's that?
When he started his own game show on the WWE Network, he stole a segment from us.
Which segment did he steal?
What's up with you?
Not a whole lot. We did.
Well, damn it! We're gonna need a little bit more out of you on that one. What's up with you?
So now last Wednesday was Matthew's birthday. I told you how I managed to get him the last Switch from
Nintendo
Walmart.
Switch.
Yeah. So then Friday we had his birthday party. So he had two little friends come over, and I thought they were all going to spend
friends.
Yeah, about his age.
Like
11.
small?
No, they're 11.
Oh,
so I
they're 11.
I thought they all were going to stay tonight, and we only had one stay tonight. And so I was like, but it was kind of cool though. They went outside and they jumped on a trampoline and they played Nerf guns and all this other stuff. And then they came in and we watched Playing with Fire with John Cena, and that was cool. And then Sunday I didn't do much but chill. So.
You should have watched The Bus Driver with Triple H.
He wasn't on Triple H. He likes John Cena, so we got that movie.
That's my kid.
It was good. So it was good. And other than that, yeah.
So we already talked about Haley setting the dorm on fire.
Yeah. Well, she didn't set it on fire. She set the smoke alarm.
Sure, she set it on fire.
No, she set it on fire.
That's how rumors get started right there.
She had set it on fire. She'd been sent home and she'd been working to pay me back. That's because she'd been working 80 hours a week, nonstop. It would have been 12 years a slave. She'd have burned that damn school down.
So folks, we got a new person watching us on YouTube. We've got Katie Millard.
Hey, Katie.
Watching us. Hi, Katie.
What? So smiley faces?
Those are smileys with hearts.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. Welcome.
Yes, like the girl from The Bachelor on Raw. Like that's the kind of impression that you would get from that, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Especially from Ivar. Katie says, howdy, guys. Terrence, what's up with you?
Your turn.
Life. Trying to make it in these times, 2020.
Why don't you tell the story about how you brought this amazing bottle of liquor over to my house tonight?
I don't want to talk about that.
Oh, come on. That's what makes this show so funny,
It's not
man.
really a story, it's a mishap.
But
It's a funny mishap.
I'm coming over to Rob's, I am riding with Rob, I bring some liquor with us, let's have a good night. Get up here, as I walk upstairs, I pull my Ciroc mango bottle out, cool. I just start smelling, something smells like, oh, whatever. I pull my Evan Williams 100 proof bottle out, and as he saw, 3/4 of a bottle was in there. I want to say maybe 1/4 of the bottle was left.
Like this much?
2/4 in his bag?
Yeah, so luckily I had some clothes in the bag. I'm not going to say what clothes, but I had some
Oh,
clothes.
just go ahead. Last week I told the story about how...
I'm not you. I don't put all of it.
You're on the Potsy and Tino show.
I'm on the Potsy show, but I'm T. I'm still Terrence. I'm still Tequila T. No, I had some spare underwear in the bag that soaked all the liquor up.
Can I ask you why you bring it?
Why you bring this?
It was just gym bag. It's all right. It's just gym bag. Come on now.
What kind of show do you think we had? You're gonna bring a change of underwear, unless you're Rob. Tell them that story about me.
Well, we told it last week. Anybody that wants to listen to that, go ahead and listen to last week's
I
episode.
forgot why it was in my bag anyway.
Oh, no. I don't know.
Why?
It's just gym bag. It's fine. It's
Thank
fine.
you.
But
works.
But I am gonna say that we went to go make another drink, and we finished off the bottle of the Evan Williams, and while I was doing it, I was like, T, this is horrible, man. Like if we didn't have any more liquor, I was gonna have to literally sit there and squeeze out the underwear.
See, I went to ECU and I was supposed to say alcohol abuse, but now you're talking about straining liquor. Nah.
But
it would have been a little salty.
See, and that's what T said. He's like, would have been a little salty.
Yeah.
And it's like, God, I hope it was clean underwear. At least, like clean underwear, because otherwise it's just. But
that's nightmares.
Here on the Potsy and Tino show, we seem to do this every week, where we embarrass the shit out of ourselves.
Yeah.
And we're okay with it, because it's not like I'm running for president, and even if I did, well, that's no worse than either of the candidates, right?
See, we don't do politics.
No, we don't. We don't. But we are getting closer to that. So, nothing really going on with you?
Living life, bartending, doing my thing.
Come see him. I don't know. Do you want to say it? Do you want to see?
Oh, if you're in the Raleigh and Triangle area, or in the Morrisville, get off the airport, get out of the airport, come to Ruckus Bar. That's where I bartend at almost every night except for Mondays.
He will take care of you, and he makes a wonderful old fashioned.
I'll make whatever good.
Oh.
He makes a great old fashioned.
Give me your drink and I'll make it good.
Damn.
And he does. He does. He will even tell you that.
Bask in my glory.
See. He went there with it. He went there with it.
So right now, by the way, Tino, we have five viewers.
Nice.
I don't know which programs they're on. I know that we've got at least, I'm assuming at least 2 on the YouTube. It says we got at least 3 on Facebook, and we've got at least 1 on YouTube. Hopefully Chris Barrett's still there. He likes talking wrestling with us. Katie, welcome to the show. I haven't actually said what's going on with me yet tonight.
Sure haven't. What's going on with you? What's up with you?
What's up with me?
I'm trying to go to Facebook, see if I can find the comments or anything.
So tonight, Tino, we are supposed to actually come up with the winners of the latest 2.
Oh, I get to pick numbers again.
Well, maybe you get to pick one. Maybe T gets to pick one.
Okay.
So we've got two original pieces of art for the Indiegogo. For anybody that's actually still taking a look and jumping in, we've got a Frederick the Scaredy Cat he's obviously a big favorite. And then we have a Piney who has his Rubik's Cube. And so we're at, I believe, 35. 35 is the number.
Okay.
So both of you can give me a random number between 1 and 35, and that person will win one of those pieces of artwork. How's that sound? Does that sound great for everybody?
Yay!
So by the way, Katie, who's watching the show right now, she actually sat there and watched as I did a bunch of my napkin art the other night, and when she saw that there was a Batman and a Joker piece, she was like, yoink! And snatched those things up pretty darn quick.
That.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Terrence was
Katie! She told me about that when I went to go. She told me about that when I went to go get my game. I'm gonna get my.
She says, put my name in the hat twice.
I told you about that. I told you he wouldn't let me do that.
The only way that your name gets in the hat more than once is if you've actually donated more than once. Or
she donated more than once.
Or if you get Tino to match your offer.
Don't get crazy.
Because Tino already knows he can get as much.
What did she say?
She said, I know. But Tino knows that he can already get free artwork from me. All he's got to do is bug me, and it won't come as easily or as fast as like I've been doing these. But I would do a piece for him if he wanted it. Terrence knows that I'd do the same thing for him. But if you guys can talk Tino or Terrence into matching what you do on your next offer, not only would you get your second one on there, but if these guys match you, then you would get a third one on there.
That's pressure.
For both of you and for them to sit there and do it.
Pressure bust sure. Pressure bust kites. Let's go.
Yeah. So by the end of this episode, which by the way we're hoping 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Oh God.
What are you talking about? I'm the one that's got to work 9 hours tomorrow.
Yeah, but I got to drive 45 minutes home.
Maybe even longer.
Yeah. So let's get this going.
Put me out there like that.
So also, we're still doing the What's Up With Us, right? So, my buddy Sean works for Sony.
Oh, that doesn't look good.
Oh, it's stuck.
Oh, no. Oh.
Don't worry, it'll be fine. So, my buddy Sean works for Sony, and he asked me to do some pieces for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So, I started with this piece right here. It's of Miles Morales. The really cool thing, and if you take a look at the Instagram Rob Pochak, if you take a look at that, this piece actually glows in the dark.
Yeah, it's cool.
And it's one where I actually let like the glow in the dark embers and everything else actually like really set in before I actually did anything else with it. So this one, pretty awesome, glows in the dark. Tino's trying to show it, but unfortunately in the light it does not really show it. And then I've done like 2 or 3 other pieces for it. I did a Kratos and I did a Ratchet and Clank piece, and then Sean himself actually kind of asked me if I would do a Sly Cooper piece. So we're trying to keep it all Sony-esque characters, and obviously Spider-Man is a Sony property from Marvel. So either I'll do that or I'll possibly do another character that is known for being a Sony character. But the Sly Cooper character actually, I did a piece of the napkin art the other night, and I was like, that's a really cool character. So maybe tomorrow before I go into the day job, you guys will see me do a live stream on that. We got Carson Woodard in the house. Carson, whoop, whoop, whoop. Hey yo. we're still doing the What's Up With You before we jump into Pro Wrestling Talk. But we will be getting to Pro Wrestling Talk. But before we do, Tino, give me a number from 1 to 35. Jesus, really?
I want to pick a good one. 19.
All right. So after the show, we will figure out exactly who number 19 was. And Terrence?
Dang, I was going to pick 18. 27.
So, if you are the number 19 or 27 contributor to the Indiegogo for it, by all means, guys, you just won. We see that we've got someone from the Lion's Den. Is that Ken Shamrock?
I don't know what you say.
No, it says I like Comics Core sent me. I like comics. Comics Core sent me. Hey, thank you so much for checking out the Potsy and Tino show. We've got a special guest tonight. We've got Terrence.
The real MVP.
We've got the real MVP of the show
no,
right
not
here.
me. Whoever this is, Lions Den, you're the real MVP.
I like it.
You popped up. You giving us love.
Yep. So one of these. Guys, before we actually jump into pro wrestling, I know that we really do, but I think this week there's something even more important than pro wrestling that happened. And we all, without actually pouring one out.
I poured it in my mouth.
All right. I think we need to give the 10-second salute.
There's water. Can I pour it out?
Terrence. He just said Terrence RKO Potsy.
Oh, yes.
Soon. Dragon Sleeper. Dragon
Sleeper.
That's a folding chair right there.
But yeah, he does have a folding chair, but he said that it was too nice of a folding chair to sit there and bust over. It is a padded folding chair.
It's not gonna bend over your head. It's not gonna ting. I need that in my life.
It's not those weird ones that La Parca used to bring down. It was actually the wooden chair from the bingo halls.
Yeah.
Don't you bring up La Parca because he's the greatest wrestler ever.
He might be the greatest luchador ever.
That dance, baby. I know about Hart. That was my dude.
But
the chairman of WCW.
The chairman of WCW. But, gentlemen, we lost a king. We lost an icon. We lost a musical genius. He played everything. And he did everything iconic. We lost Chadwick Boseman this week. And because of that, we're going to give a 10-second silence salute. My king.
Is it Wakanda forever?
Wakanda forever, and not just Wakanda forever. The roles he played.
He did it all. He did Little Richard. He did a baseball movie.
He did Thurgood Marshall.
Oh my God.
He did Jackie Robinson.
Jackie Robinson. He was Thurgood Marshall. Black Panther. The reason he did such a good job with that. That's why everyone remember him. He was in Draft Day, which was I liked it more than people gave it credit for. He was the football player.
Sure, in the Kevin Costner movie. Sure.
I still haven't seen Thurgood, but I heard it was good. He was in The Five Bloods. It just came out recently on Netflix.
I think I said that's his last movie.
No, the last movie that he actually did, I can't remember the name of it, but he got to work with his idol, Denzel Washington.
Isn't that the...
No, it was called like Ma something.
I just saw that. We have phones.
You look it up.
And it just. But I don't want to take anything from him because it hurts. So I never say I want to be upset about something. But he was also in line to play the Black Samurai too.
Yeah.
And that's what I was like.
What I will say though is that he did everything like in the last 4 years. Black Panther came out in 2018, folks. Lions Den said that my internet just froze. Am I back? Chad, what's going on? Are we live? Are we still here? Did we freeze? I'll tell you what, I will make sure. Looks great on his end. All right. Carson is saying we're good. I'm going to close out the Facebook side. We're going to...
Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
Say it?
Ma Rainey's Black Bottom is going to be the final film.
Which, by the way, is based on a play from, I believe, the 70s. Denzel Washington produced it. The story of what Denzel did for Chadwick Boseman is phenomenal.
Awesome.
It's one of those things where now we got Drew Manchu in there. We got Comic Man Andy. We're getting like an entire Comics Core crew watching the show. We're talking about Chadwick Boseman. You guys talked about him on Friday night right after the news came in. Just knowing that Denzel paid for his college at Howard University. On top of that, knowing that like when Denzel was given the Lifetime Achievement Award, that Chadwick said, I have to speak at it. And to sit there and say everything that he did, like you have to look it up. What's up, Comic Man Andy? Just seeing all that information, seeing what was going on with it, knowing that this man was diagnosed with colon cancer, stage 3 colon cancer, 4 years ago.
Went through surgeries, chemos, and was still making product. It's amazing.
Not just to mention the fact that the energy that you have to put into a Marvel movie just to get your body in shape for that, and to look the part, to look the role. Everything involved with that, because there were times in the Black Panther movie where he did not have anything on his chest. He was sitting there just showing off his body, and knowing that this man was going through chemotherapy and going through everything else. Like you just can't, like, I will tell you, the message that he left by not saying it.
Yes.
And just delivering performance after performance after performance, and not saying,
I'm sick.
I'm sick. You guys need to look at me. You need to see this. You need to not say any of that says so much more than anything that could be said by actually just even mentioning it.
Yes.
And it's like, I mean, I'm getting chills just talking about it. I don't know how you guys feel, but like for me, I'm brought to a standstill.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they said he intentionally, because he didn't want the focus to be on him. He wanted the focus to be on the movies and these characters. And not only characters, I mean, these are biopic pictures that he was doing. He wanted it to be about the movies and not about him. Like you said, that says so much about him. He's one of those, like, hey, it's not a, hey, look at me. He wasn't one of those Hollywood guys. I was watching something else. They said even after, he came through and he made it, he still was just as humble as he was when he started. And I think that says something about his character that I truly respect and admire about that.
Go ahead.
Also, even the fact with the work he was doing with the children with cancer himself, knowing he was doing that work with the children with cancer, and knowing he was battling himself, but he never let it.
I wonder if in those moments, though, T, that he or T, I wonder if in those moments he ever actually said, "I know exactly what you're going through."
We don't know that.
We don't know.
He may have.
Like those moments are so private in those times when someone, I've done Make-A-Wishes. I've had people and kids that come and in my day job, which I don't talk about too much here, but when I've had those Make-A-Wish kids, and they tell me what's going on with them, hey, I don't want pictures taken because of this or this or whatever, it's like, I get it, and I just wonder if he said, I really do know what you're going through, because between you and me, here's, at the same time, like, I'm just crushed by it, and all I can hope is that Marvel Studios decides instead of doing the whole let's recast the role, and we shouldn't even talk about it at this point, right? But I hope that the character that played Shuri and the character that played Okoye are the two that they go, we don't need to recast the role, that we allow for this moment of one of these other characters to really step up, because maybe the beginning of Black Panther 2 now is truly, the funeral of T'Challa, and he's so much more than T'Challa.
Yeah.
He really is. But I'm a big Marvel movie fan.
Yeah.
Now granted, I love baseball, so I'm great at watching Jackie Robinson and everything else, but that character brought billions of dollars in, and not just from white eyes, black eyes, whatever. It was, we all watched it.
Yeah.
It gave everybody a superhero that, was just something else. It's amazing. So,
I hate seeing recasting, but Black Panther's such a big character. I don't even want to think about that. I think you have to in a few. Yeah, let's say I don't even.
Well, you and I talked about it a little bit, and I said the only way that I'm okay with recasting that character is if his family signs off on the recasting. Yes. That's the only way. So we got a couple more comments in the room. Sorry for being so down, so upsetting it to some people. I understand it's such a big, pull down moment here.
Get y'all up.
And they.
Well, we're gonna talk about Keith Lee here in a little bit, looking like M'Baku, but but we've got let's see.
Terrible.
I don't think he was trying to go there, but I got you.
I wasn't.
Terrible.
I don't even.
He wasn't even doing that.
I wasn't.
It's all right.
But,
I got your back this time.
But I do want to go ahead and say that we've also got Drew Manchu in the chat. We've got Tom Brevoort in the chat. I agree, they are more community based, no more gimmicks. You're all in support of the new administration, so they're talking about the Comics Corps, a group that I hold very dear to myself and show up every so often when they allow me to. So, guys,
let's do our thing and do what we do.
Tino, I've only got one other thing that I want to talk to you about before we actually jump into pro wrestling.
What was that?
Your wife Nicole.
Ah, hell, you saw that.
I did, and I was brought to tears, and I may be brought to tears again, because Mama had a moment, and I call her Mama. She knows I do, she had a moment because she thought it was perfectly okay to let Matthew, your son, the one I always joke is baby Seamus,
he's turned 11.
Just turned 11. Ride a bike by himself in the neighborhood.
Yep.
And Tino, I think it's important that you actually like convey this story, especially now when we're talking about things like Chadwick Boseman passing, and just how this moment, your wife is white,
Italian
German. Matthew obviously is both of your child, and yet you had a very different feeling about him being able to do that.
Well, it boiled down to.
And you're okay with him riding his bike?
I'm okay with him riding his bike. Well, I think because of everything, especially now that's going on in the world with just the racism and everything, and he's out riding his bike in the neighborhood, and I'm like, dude, I mean, what if somebody, and that's part of my fear, like, what if somebody calls the cops on him or does something to him or yells at him or tries to accost him, and I'm not there to protect him. I just didn't think that, at this day and time that he should be riding his bike by himself. I'm still the guy who, I'm that guy who when we go out in public, he's 11 years old, but if we're sitting in a restaurant and he goes to the bathroom, everything else around me stops. I'm watching the door waiting for him to come out of that bathroom, and if he doesn't come out within 2 minutes, I'm going in the bathroom. It's just too much going on in the world.
But this was a situation where when Nicole heard you react to it, she thought that you were almost overreacting, yeah, and she thought that it was because you were being mean.
Yeah, no, it's
and I didn't, by the way, when she told the story, like I said, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. And it all boils down to I'm trying to keep him safe, and I don't want him to be a statistic. I don't want him to.
And he is the nicest child.
Yeah, but he is a young African American boy, and I'm worried that somebody in the neighborhood is going to be like, hey, what are you doing in the neighborhood? You don't belong here. I'm just trying to keep him alive, and that's pretty much what it is. That's what it broke down to. I worry about him. I mean, I know in a few years when he goes to drive, I'm going to have to sit my son down and be like, look, dude, you get pulled over. This is the way you need to act. I don't want to have that conversation, but it's a necessary conversation that we need to have. And like I said, I hope that like when he has children, that he doesn't have to sit them down and have a conversation. So my wife and I sat down, and she's like, well, why are you being? And once I broke it down to her, she
didn't realize it because she has never dealt with that.
Yes.
Even with the children in the car or anything else, she's never had to deal with that, and it's, this is probably, it's funny. This is probably the deepest episode that we've done.
Yeah.
And I just thought that it was important that after, because Nicole and I have joked that we need to bring her on here to talk about the Oxford comma.
No.
and we talk about that a lot because it's important to put that into a statement.
Yes.
But Katie says, it hurts my heart that you even have to have that conversation with your son.
Yeah.
More than anything, Katie, it was that he had to have that conversation with his wife because she's not used to that feeling. She's not used to that world, and neither am I. Tino and I have been. We were talking about it last week. We have been friends for over 20 years. Mm-hmm. And I have never looked at him as anything other than my friend, my brother, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And from the very first time I met him, when he got punched in the nose by that girl that got hit in the breast implants. That wasn't even you.
She wasn't even swinging at me. She was drunk and missed. Missed the guy she was swinging at.
Since that moment in time, I've never looked at you as anything other than a person I could go, let's go to a wrestling event.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this. Let's do this. Let's sing a song together. Whatever the case might be. Now, granted, I did call him Hootie when I first met him. I did. Terrence, the songs he sang, and by the way, his Twitter handle is HootieFan91.
So I'll give him
Yeah, you gotta give it both ways. If you're gonna go one, you gotta go the other. But
Darius Rucker, baby.
Yeah.
Damn right, Daddy. So it's one of those things where
not for free. You know that. Not for free.
Well, if someone wants to make an Indiegogo donation tonight, Tino, instead of actually donating the same amount of money because he hasn't done that yet.
I'll tell you that. You know what? If they do, you tell me. I'll bring my guitar next week. I will.
You don't even need your guitar.
Mm-hmm.
You can't acapella?
Mm-mm.
It's the energy.
Come on.
No, it's a musician. I know what he's talking
about. I need my guitar.
He needs that energy. It's that.
What does that say?
It says, yeah, sing.
No. You do what he said.
And Dr. Drew Manchu is sitting there saying,
No,
don't sing. Guys, thank you so much for being part of the show already. And then he says, shut it, Cletus. we got some energy going on. Man, I almost don't even want to talk about pro wrestling now because we got a crowd, we got everything else. But
this is what we do.
This is what we do. And I think we're pretty good at it. We seem to hold the crowd, even though our production value is definitely at the and that's my fault.
You're working on it.
I am working on it.
It's all right, dude. I think the production, but I think
we're 720p tonight, so
I think even at the production value, I think this is more than the production value.
I agree. I
see my old ass camera.
It's content. It's content. I can't even talk. What is this saying now? Where's Cat?
Oh, because we've got Catrin Figures who also is part of the Comics Corps.
Ah, okay.
Who actually is the person that introduced me to the Comics Corps and is a junior high horrors fan. So
Cat, where you at?
But
she comes on hollering
with her man.
Oh well, see.
Hey,
who by the way,
do your thing.
I believe the entire Comics Corps, as wrestling fans like we are, says that Mark BKR actually does look like Orange Cassidy. I showed you that one night. So I had Tino watch an episode of one of the old Comics Corps videos, and is she single? Who is her man? Oh, this is Cletus talking. I actually have never met Cletus, so
Cletus, don't get in no trouble, man. It's a podcast.
Catrin on our show.
Is she a hottie with a body?
She has a man.
So Catrin Figures does have a man. Yeah, we brought T on here so that he could actually go ahead and just ramble on about pro wrestling, because I wanted to go on a rant about the pay-per-view last night, but watch your mouth, Cletus Curtis.
Uh-oh.
And by the way,
uh-oh.
I would take what Dr. Drew Manchu is saying, and even Chad saying slow your roll. Like we're all friends, but Orange Cassidy at Mark BKR will drop that Superman punch on you when you are not looking for it. And I'm sure if are you actually playing?
Fighting up like I'm not in. My name's Bennett. I ain't in it.
Are you kidding? We've never had this much going on in the chat. So we're loving it right now, folks. So
Tequila T was right.
So Tino.
Oh shit.
Uh-oh. Serious voice.
I think it's time to actually talk a little bit about pro wrestling.
Let's do it.
Pro wrestling. Was there anything worth talking about from NXT? Yes, there was one thing worth talking about. It's tomorrow night, and we're not even going to do a show until next week.
Oh my god! And
we might do an extra show this week, folks.
Yeah, because you got to cover that. Because that
Super Tuesday,
that 1 hour Iron Man match. That's got to that's going to be
Fatal
it.
Fatal
4-way. Iron Man.
We all have different opinions. I want to say Ciampa's going to win it.
So Tino says Ciampa's going to win. So first of all, let's talk about this. Iron Man match means that it's as many falls as you can get in 60 minutes.
Yes.
So for once, I don't think this is going to be there are no falls until the end.
Oh no, they can't.
Although they are all so good that I could see them all kicking out until the very end, right? But I think this is NXT's chance to sit there and really, really take advantage of not being on the same night as AEW. They've already got they've got a Fandango and somebody else, or Fandango, Breezango and Swerve Scott versus what's the group called?
Oh, my crew. It's my crew.
The
Luchadors.
The cruiserweight champion. I want to call them the cartel just because they look like a cartel.
Yeah, but I know you're talking about.
Yeah, that's my crew.
That's
my crew. No, I can't remember the cat name, but that whole story, how he played out.
Phantasma.
There it
is. I want to say it's EO del Phantasma, but I don't believe that's it. Cletus Curtis wants to know who is Rick Rude.
Oh wow, how old are you?
Well, he is Rick Rude, by the
Ravishing does the
that right there. He obviously is
Bobby Roode's dad.
I mean, not where you live. I mean, on the spectrum.
What?
Oh, so Rick Rude is one of the greatest of all time. I mean, he's a WWE Hall of Famer. Should have been a WWE World Champion, but was one of those heels that really did everything that could be asked of him and knew the business better than anybody else. I can't tell stories about him, but I know that if you listen to someone like Scott Hall or Diamond Dallas Page, all they do is talk about how Rick Rude on the road would sit there and tell you exactly how to book a show. So that works there. Yes, John Cena. We were talking about him earlier tonight. I said that why isn't he wrestling right now while Hollywood is shut down and most people believe, like these guys do, that it's time to bring in the new generation. And
Santos Escobar.
Santos Escobar.
That's the cruiserweight champion.
Yes.
Is that the name that he uses?
That's what he uses now. Because before, you're right. The other name he had was El Hijo de Fantasma, and then he unmasked himself.
El Hijo de... I actually got that name right.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's why I always had that storyline. He was a goody two shoes, cruiserweight, won the belt, and said, "Let me take this mask off."
And he took that mask off, and he had like this. He had
gangster.
John Cena has COVID.
Who coughed? I coughed earlier. It's not me.
Thanks for that one, Chad. I did not cough. We were laughing because Chad just dropped the news that John Cena has COVID. So, Chris Barrett, how did he keep his pants up without a belt?
Who, me?
No, Cena.
No, I think they're actually talking about Rick Rude because he didn't have a championship belt. So how did he keep his pants up? I think that's where we'll go. That's where we'll go with that. Needless to say, the theory here is that NXT is going to do everything they can to get 1 million viewers this week. And by watching Raw tonight, we saw that they posted constantly like the advertisement for NXT Super Tuesday, that this is going to be their night to go and get 1 million viewers. And if they're going to do it, a 4-way Iron Man match with Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, Adam Cole, and Finn Balor is the way to do it. Like, those are the biggest names to ever truly be in NXT. And I can't argue that. I like maybe Samoa Joe, maybe Shinsuke Nakamura, but ultimately those are the 4 biggest names that have ever been. Those are the 4 biggest names that have ever. I mean, you've got a microphone there. Why are you doing that?
You want everybody to hear the glass ring? Hear the ring. Let them know.
But okay, so. Ben doesn't need the belt. We had this discussion.
Does not need
the belt.
That's why I disagree.
Johnny does not need it. So Ciampa never lost it. I can see them coming back with Ciampa never lost that title.
See, I think Finn does need a belt. Because what has Finn done since he's been in NXT but a bunch of empty promises?
But see, I thought Finn was going to UK.
Now, interestingly, to answer your question there, Terrence, Finn has become the winningest NXT TakeOver guy of all time without winning another title. So he's had matches with Velveteen. He's had matches with what's that guy that you like? Cameron Grimes. Mm-hmm. You know, and in fact, Cameron Grimes is one of the few people that's actually beaten him.
Yeah.
You know, but
Cameron too.
But when he's on TakeOver against someone like Timothy Thatcher, he wins.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the important thing. Like he goes over when it's most important, right? So
I would like to see
Chris Barrett. You're absolutely right.
What?
Too bad that Karrion Kross got hurt. Like there were plans. We don't know what they were because obviously they had to drop. They had to stop on a dime and do something else.
I think it was going to be Karrion and Tommaso.
And that's the theory because it would have allowed Ciampa to build himself back up after losing such a sound match at the last takeover.
But what I want to see is, and I doubt it, if it, Adam Cole, if he did win it because he's part of the Undisputed Era, I would love to see. Hear me out. I'd love to see him win it and let my man Dexter Lumis come back and build a program with him. Because Dexter Lumis before he got hurt was my pick to win that ladder match. I would like to see Dexter as a world champion. I think that as an NXT champion, I think that would be an awesome. What happened?
It says that's exciting, and we're just gonna leave it there. Killer Cross was a tough guy. If he was around 5 years earlier, he could have had a great Mania match with the Taker. You are not wrong. I still think that Finn Balor deserved a match with Taker, and the Demon King never actually got that moment. And I think we probably would have seen that if he had actually never gotten hurt with the Universal Championship. So I think that's a possible moment there. Talking about Dexter Lumis, Tino, you and I were talking about it. You shaved that guy's head. You let him grow a full goatee.
You about to be? I'm about to say so.
Who does he look like?
Stone Cold.
Crazy Stone Cold. That's Stone Cold's son.
He literally and all we need is either John Cena on Instagram to sit there and put up that Stone Cold meme that he does all the time and put up Stone Cold Loomis,
Stone Cold Loomis,
and have Loomis's head on Stone Cold's body. That right there, John Cena, if you are listening, please give me that meme, because you know what, I might make that meme because that meme sounds perfect. But otherwise, that dude has those like snake eyes that Stone Cold Steve Austin had at just the right time, right? And yet for whatever reason they want to make him a stalker.
Because that's what he was
Sam Shaw and whatever, yeah.
But I think
which didn't get over in TNA.
But it's getting over somehow in NXT.
Well, it's getting over because people like Roderick Strong are that good at being scared by it.
Or also him popping up behind the couch on Velveteen, giving him a picture of them. That was funny, man.
Oh my god!
Y'all are not wrong, because we in the villains on our podcast, we talk about how he looks like Austin.
Yeah,
when
dude.
he get going. I think 2 of us are big Loomis fans. No one's hating on him.
All right, so from the chat, folks, who would win, C-3PO or Big Bird?
Big Bird, all day.
Chad says C-3PO.
C-3PO, so all you do is smack that head around. Big Bird ain't nothing but a puppy.
It depends on if C-3PO got some weapons in that
Can't believe
we
we're
don't
talking
know.
about this.
Uh-huh.
But honestly, Big Bird.
Chad.
Big Bird got them big legs. I can do one time kicking. Boop.
Sweet.
Lions Den was actually the one that asked the question, but Chad was the one that answered with C-3PO. I kind of agree, although C-3PO never seemed to actually be about the violence, so I don't know if it would ever come to a fight.
One big leg kick C-3PO on the head and
knock him on the side. You know what? If
knocks him on the side, he can't get up. How can he get up? He's just gonna roll.
Big Bird would use the leg drop like Hulk Hogan.
Oh my god!
I'm saying it right now.
He would Claymore.
The Claymore.
Big Bird would use the Claymore kick.
C-3PO hit him with an RKO out of nowhere.
No.
Would be RKO, be the C-3PO.
It'd be a spear.
C-3PO would be like the manager that just takes the bump. That's what he would be.
Call out Chewbacca.
Here comes the tag team, the Stormtroopers with their manager C-3PO.
You know who had the best snake eyes? Jake the Snake. Yes.
You don't like the Undertaker snake eyes?
No. The actual eyes.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, Jake the Snake had the best snake eyes. Like he still does. Like in AEW when he's sitting on the side of the ring, like with Murder Hawk out there.
I don't know. Orton eyes.
I stopped it.
You did. I'm proud of you.
But I thought this was going to be uncensored night because T was here.
All right. So because Terrence is here, we're going to say right now.
Why would we being uncensored because of me? I'm a good guy.
Because he don't let me the F-bomb.
We've been.
I like when we have special guests.
We've been PG-13 for a while now, folks. Tino wants to drop some F-bombs.
I used to love this one. My favorite,
Like
can't
food?
we
The
go-
night after WrestleMania, we would be like, tonight we are doing this.
So no, back when Joe wasn't around that much, and he would just pop up out of nowhere. My catchphrase for the longest time, can I say it?
Yeah, you can
Like,
drive.
where the fuck did Joe come from?
And now he's at the commentary booth, and I'm still waiting for the moment for Tino to sit there and go, where the fuck did Joe come from?
Because he is cleared to wrestle.
It's coming up.
He is cleared.
It's coming.
He's cleared.
If Seth doesn't have, well, we're
we're
but
gonna
I
get.
do think Seth and Joe is a future match. Just-
Oh, totally.
Oh God.
Totally. In fact, I have a feeling that before they get to Seth and Joe, I almost think that with where they're going with Aleister Black, it's going to be Aleister Black and Joe.
I think Seth and Joe, that'd be right. He'll be the one to send him home. Remember, because we talked about his.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We'll get to that too. So all right, so Thursday night last week we had AEW. Chris Jericho on commentary was lightning.
Oh
As
my, he
always.
was so funny.
Like he even
He was
messed up
so
a couple
funny.
times, and yet would sit there, recollect himself, and boom, right back in. And before you know it, he's sitting there like telling Tony Schiavone like where he should get his hair
Schiavone.
dyed.
Skip
Yes,
home.
skip home.
Him and JR feeding off each other that night had me about to cry.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
he's golden. I mean, Chris Jericho can literally do it all. He can do commentary.
I have a feeling in
can-
his 3-year contract with AEW, his last year is just going to be him on
Because
the mic,
he's
and
been
he'll
on
do like
commentary.
3 matches.
He's been on commentary more and more. If you notice, he's not really wrestling that much anymore.
Well, why would he? He's 48. Why would he wrestle all the time? He doesn't need to.
Just made me think of a good topic for a podcast on there.
And yeah, there you go.
What wrestlers are the wrestlers that were so good at everything that they could go jump from wrestling.
You know,
to pop.
interestingly enough,
like Macho Man was on the
Yep.
booth.
Interestingly enough,
Just
since
the
we're,
body,
since we're talking about wrestlers that have become commentators, one Aiden English actually came out on Twitter this week and said that he just left a picture of him and the former Luke Harper, Brody Lee,
Mhm.
and he said, "I'm just going to leave this here." And yet he was one of the guys let go by WWE in April,
Mm-hmm.
and actually had moved over to commentary.
which he was pretty good at.
He was real good.
He actually became really good at it, and he put over his commentary partners from 205 Live, sitting there saying that Vic Joseph and Nigel McGuinness did not have to put him over at all, and yet
They did.
they sat there and took him under their wing and just helped him along until he felt comfortable to do it himself, and that's amazing.
I mean, the guy got over singing show tunes.
Oh my gosh.
He like, come on, let's be real. Like,
It was him.
even if it was stupid, he did it
he
in the
started
way that
Rusev
Rusev
Day.
Day.
Yeah. Rusev, like, I don't want to get no copyright stuff, but yo, the way he did that, like I'm saying, even there's some people that just have it,
Yeah.
and it sucks. Like, there are wrestlers that we get to see, the greats that have it,
And we will go
get
ahead.
there, and there are the wrestlers that don't, that never make it, that we
Yep.
still can see it, and it bothers. That's why we get so mad
Yep.
when we see it, because he's not the biggest thing in the world, and I don't think he is a world champion, but he had a hit factor. Like,
yes.
keeping him and Rusev, like, that's one reason Rusev Day got over.
That's why Rusev started getting over.
Yeah, Rusev should have won like Money in the Bank and should have been a world champion based on Rusev Day alone. Like it was like Daniel Bryan's yes thing, you
But
know, like
I'm just giving an example. You may not agree with me, but it's almost like Bo Dallas. And when I say this, really say Bo Dallas has a small part of that. Even he's whack, it didn't work. Him and old boy got the B team over somehow,
Oh my God.
some way.
I created a T-shirt.
Yeah,
It's the A team, except it's the B team. Like
Bo Dallas even before that, I believe he got that over.
exactly.
As dumb as that was.
I don't know if it ever really
It
got
did,
over.
though,
He
and
had to
people-
turn
he had
heel
people
to
booing-
get it over.
But people were booing it. But same with New Day. People weren't on that New Day first, even when they turned heel at first. It took another month or two before everybody really got behind that.
When they first started it, nobody
terrible.
got behind
was
it.
terrible.
So
And they've been together what, like 6 years now?
Yeah.
6-7 years.
they have not broken up. Like how many tag teams have?
And now on Talking Smack, they've actually like Miz sat there and said Big E's got to start being more serious and start taking it more seriously and blah blah blah. And of course Big E sitting there saying, That's what everybody has told us the entire time, and we've continued to do what we do, and each of us has gotten ourselves over by ourselves with the group. Doesn't matter. We are going to be us.
But see, Big E proved he can do it all last night, and he's proven it for the past couple of weeks on SmackDown, and he proved it last night.
Which, by the way, was probably the best match of the night.
Oh, my God. He comes out to the ring the same Big E, but you can see when it clicks, like when he's like, oh, you want to go? And he totally destroys it, and he can click back into that fun level. But last night he didn't. He's still... Dude, that dude was hyped up after that win.
So, all right, so...
I'm talking to
so let's
Corey.
Let's jump into it, because I don't really think there was much from SmackDown.
Mm-mm.
You know, there was Adam Pearce
and
Mr. McMahon sitting there, like Mr. McMahon telling... Well, I'm getting there, man. Come on. You said
it was nothing.
I said Adam Pearce
two things.
doing his thing.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Come on.
So...
You just go Bill Cosby?
He did.
I did.
He did.
I do that sometimes. I won't say that it was Bill Cosby, though, because I'm not in prison. But
Is there anything in my drink?
You made your drink. So if there is, you put it in there.
Anyway, I'm going. I'm sorry.
Sleepaway Camp, Carson Woodard is awesome, and
that's why you shouldn't have brought me here.
Junior High Horror's number 8 cover was actually a.
This fool said there's something in my drink.
Well, he made his own drink. Oh. He's Cosbying himself. But anyways,
SmackDown. There's nothing I want to talk about too.
But I was trying to say that Mr. McMahon shows up. And he tells Adam Pearce, who's one of the backstage producers, who, by the way, was a pro wrestler of his own, Ring of Honor and other places before he became a backstage producer for WWE, like Pat Buck.
Keep going. We're gonna get
Sanjay Dutt.
Sanjay Dutt. But or Joseph Park. But anyways, he gets tasked with getting the Fiend, Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns all to sign the contract before the end of the night, or there's going to be consequences. You're fired.
Deadly serious.
But yet he only got two of them to sign, and there were no consequences.
Because of the surprise.
Right. Because
they had to go back and
because that's not a prediction. That's a spoiler. Believe that.
Nobody saw that coming.
It wasn't SummerSlam. Sorry, that was. Anyways, hey, Catherine Figures has actually joined the show.
Hey!
Welcome to the show, Kat. Everybody from the Comics Corps and fans all over, thank you for joining. We've got a special guest tonight, Terrence, obviously, Tino, myself. So you guys wanted to talk about something else that happened during the show?
I just want to talk about the women's tag team match, because I think that was so important. It wasn't a tag team match, it was a promo that Bayley and Sasha were doing. And then when Baszler and Nia came on the screen, and I thought this was going to be
get on camera.
I thought this was going to be when they were going to switch it, because they were talking down to the boss, and she had her belt, and she was like, and this Sunday she goes, I will get my revenge, and she looks at Bayley, and then she said, and we will keep these titles. When she's looking at those, so I'm like, that heifer's going to turn on Bayley Sunday.
But she didn't.
Happen.
But she didn't
happen.
No, Sasha's gonna be the face out of this.
She should be.
Yeah.
Or tweener.
I think she's gonna. I think they're gonna put her back in space, because Bayley's too good of a
right now.
heel.
You can't end it right now. She's proved, like you said.
Yeah, she's too much of a good heel right now.
So in the chat right now, by the way, the question going on is, what is Mark eating? So that's Kat's husband. Mm-hmm. Normally, when I am in the area, Mark is eating potatoes. Kat, is Mark eating potatoes?
What's wrong? You put potatoes in everything.
I don't know. He eats potatoes. Like
You eat potatoes.
I like potatoes.
I mean, hash browns. French fries.
I do.
I'm about to go bumble gup style on potatoes. You got French fries,
Some guy.
hash browns, mashed potatoes, boiled potatoes, fried potatoes.
Potatoes all gratin.
Hey,
All gratin.
any type of fried potato, I will eat.
French fried potatoes.
French fried potatoes. Hey, you remember my old dog Landis?
Yes.
My dog Landis used to do a Sling Blade impression, and I would say Landis, and she was a pug, and I would go Landis, do Sling Blade, and she'd go, like that, literally, and unfortunately she's not with us anymore, but like, that was always something that
Made me laugh.
it made you laugh. I was always like, Landis, do it again, and she'd be like, like every time she would just, of course that's like the only noise she made.
She didn't know anything else.
But she would do it on command,
She knew
though.
what you meant.
She would do it on command, which was pretty awesome. So all right, so the pay-per-view,
You didn't like it, did you?
Here we go.
I did not, but I want to hear what you guys have to say.
I thought it was a good pay-per-view.
I actually thought it was a good pay-per-view too.
I enjoyed it.
So what did you like?
Everything. Only I didn't like. I did not like that last match. I mean, the Keith Lee match surprised me because I thought that Orton was going to go over. I thought they were going to keep Keith Lee strong, but I thought Orton was still going to go over. The women's tag team match was pretty good too, and the end at the end of the match too, where they kind of hugged and they caught themselves, and then Nia celebrating. And Baszler's trying to do a straight interview, and I was like, and she's running around dancing, and Baszler's like,
Let's go celebrate.
Let's celebrate. She just said gave up on the interview,
which was great.
Yeah,
you know, because we obviously know that what the plan there is to make them a legit tag team now. It's the Cesaro Sheamus
Yeah, you
thing,
did say that.
and I said that all along was that those guys hated each other so much that Mick Foley as the general manager said, so you guys hate each other so much, how about you team up? And everybody's like, what the like, why the fuck would they do that, right? And since we said we're gonna drop F-bombs, might as well. But
they worked well together.
yes.
He is nice, man. Let's see. I think Nia needs Chris Barrett. I don't disagree. I think that you're not wrong by saying Nia Jax needs a mouthpiece, and I actually think that Shayna Baszler makes a good mouthpiece for her. Like, Shayna's the full package, except for the looks department, but she doesn't need to be the looks department because she's a badass.
I think they need a mouthpiece for that whole tag team and just let them just shut up and be monsters and just run over everybody like Paige was doing for.
You know who'd be a good mouthpiece for them? Paul Ellering. The same guy that brought up AOP.
You know who'd be a good mouthpiece for him? Paul E. Dangerously.
Well,
aka
of
Paul
course.
Heyman.
Well, of course, but you can't overuse,
you can't overuse
Paul Heyman. But Paul Ellering would be perfect.
So I say Paul Heyman, that's his stable. Roman and the two big girls.
Even if
them three, they can run everything.
Just the three of them? Just the three of them?
Yeah.
Them three can run.
I think they needed Sami Zayn in there too, but
I'm trying to think who else could be.
which, by the way, was the other moment I would have talked about.
I don't even think they're that bad of women of talkers. I've heard worse from the.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, I was trying to say I understand whoever said that. I get where you're coming from, but out of all the women wrestlers, period, right now in WWE, who's really that great of a talker?
Dude, if they wanted to bring a heater, if she hadn't shown up on AEW, if they wanted to bring damn Vicky Guerrero back.
Oh.
And to be their mouthpiece.
Oh, Vicky Guerrero would have been
Excuse me!
Yes.
Wow, I can't hear out of my right ear now.
But
But
Sorry, but I get an impersonation.
no, it's fine. It's fine. Actually, you know, since we're talking about that, I think that Rey Mysterio's wife would be a good mouthpiece for just about anybody, because like that stare that woman
she doesn't
gives,
have to be. She can't be a mouthpiece because she didn't say anything.
she doesn't have to say anything. That's how much of a mouthpiece she is.
They just walk out. She pointed at the tag team.
Yep, she goes like this, like that, and it's over. But
I I don't want to say the wrong thing.
All right. Do we have something where we need to remove somebody from the chat? I'm just checking to make sure, but we're all trying to be fun and happy here, and apparently there's a steel cage match going on in our chat right now.
What?
I'm seeing. Let's see. Hold on.
Don't make me come in that computer, y'all.
All right. Chris Barrett says, "Big teams always need a mouthpiece. Kane and Taker needed Percy Pringle. True.
True. Okay.
Wow.
LOD needed Paul. True.
True.
Davey and Owen needed Jim Cornette.
True.
True. So, Chris Barrett, thank you for all of those wonderful statements. You are absolutely correct.
Kane Undertaker?
Yeah.
Who's in my piece?
Percy Pringle, Paul Bearer.
Oh. Okay.
No, but at different times he was with
I get
them.
you. I got you.
And he was the mouthpiece.
I think he was actually.
I think one of those runs he was the mouthpiece.
Yeah.
One of those runs.
Brothers of
And
Destruction.
then Mankind, he was a mouthpiece for Mankind too. People forget that.
For a little while, but then he found his groove.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Paul Bearer ended up going back to the Undertaker,
back to Kane, back to Undertaker.
Yeah.
Mankind on the side and came back.
Well, but towards the end, it was just I'm just gonna be with the Undertaker. He knew who the big man on campus was there, so he just stuck with him.
I mean, even Stephanie could probably come
He was
out.
with Vader.
I bet you Stephanie could come out and be a manager for them as well.
I mean, she could, she won't.
She won't. Yeah.
But that's just it.
Hey,
right?
good point, Chris.
What?
What did we say about
all those big teams end up having a good mouthpiece.
Yeah.
But that's why I think Paul Ellering would be a great manager for that. Like he'd be unexpected, but most times he'd just sit there and go
That's why
like that, and that's all he'd have to do.
Can he keep up with the schedule? Why did he leave the first time with AOP?
Yeah.
So it's a good question. You want to know why?
I remember reading about it. What was it?
So he didn't want to leave Florida. So when AOP went up to Raw, he basically sat there and they were like, "You can go to the back," and it's all because he just didn't want to be there with them. They were actually when they decided to close it back down in like the Performance Center and everything, they actually did talk about bringing him back with either AOP or another tag team, and they didn't do it because without a crowd, they didn't think that was necessary.
Oh, what should be healthy now? Oh, his injury's about up, isn't it?
Where's Paige?
I'm saying with a boy from AOP. His injury's about up now, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So is Xavier.
Xavier's still out. I don't know. I think he might.
Well, it should be. It's coming up soon.
Yeah.
Chad, I'm not gonna repeat what you just wrote in the chat, but I am gonna say that's an interesting threesome that you just created there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So I got to stick. Send the foods. Oh wow.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
So all right.
Wow. Come on, man.
So this is what I'll give the pay-per-view. I liked the Sheamus versus Big E match.
That was good.
I thought the Corbin versus Matt Riddle match was nothing more than a SmackDown match.
But it was still good.
I didn't care for it. Especially afterwards when Bro went to the back going, "I finally got past him, bro. I don't have to do nothing. I don't have..." And then he just got the shit beat out of him in the back.
You know Baron Corbin programs last for 2 years.
And then thrown against... I'm just saying that, like, if you know that, and he knows that, and I know that, then Matt Riddle should have known it wasn't over.
That's a good point.
like, we all know
that he was coming back.
He's coming back for you.
But yeah, so to have them sit there go, "Bro, let's go ahead and just let's say that this is over and I can move on to something else, dude."
But
no, it's not gonna happen. You know you got Corbin for another 6 months.
But he's in character. That's a stoner.
Yeah.
You forget about folks.
You're not
Take
wrong.
it from me.
Remember
Take
Rob
it from
Van Dam?
me.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Bro, I got done. Let's go.
Okay.
That's his character.
The Bailey Sasha match, I'm gonna say right now, as the match started, I wasn't watching at that time. I was driving my car, so I couldn't watch at the moment. But I flat out wrote in our Facebook group, I said, if Bayley doesn't lose this match, then I don't understand what the booking decisions are in the WWE anymore. And of course, they had Shayna grab Sasha's arm and choke Bayley out so that it looked like Sasha was actually choking out Bayley, and Bayley's the one that taps. And then, folks, if you didn't see it on Twitter, Sasha Banks wrote on Twitter, "I didn't tap," and Bayley wrote back, "Dude." which, by the way, is just awesome. Like, it's just awesome. Like, those two are so in character all the time that it's just...
Somebody wrote a paragraph over there.
Yeah, Chad's writing something on there, and I think he's actually... I think he's just writing the DX theme song in there.
Are you ready?
And that's exactly where... Are you ready?
Oh my God.
Think you can tell us what to do?
Hey, that still goes hard.
Think you can tell us what to wear?
Better get ready.
Better get ready to bow to the masters.
Put it down. Triple C.
Degeneration!
Oh God.
Hey. I'm younger than y'all, so I got to walk around
That's the
high
breaks,
school
little man.
doing all that and...
Somebody's drunk? What?
What is that? I see shark.
Goose.
Margarita. No, that's martini. And then sad faces.
Uh-oh.
Kat, I don't know what that is.
Baby shark?
Did you run out of drinks?
What'd she say?
Oh, she said no, hydrate, chill, Cat. I am hydrating as well.
I like Payback.
So, okay.
Here's your rant. Here we go. I've been waiting on it.
Main event time. We know that the WWE has already kind of shown us heel Roman.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, they go 2/3 of a no-holds-barred match. Not a goddamn thing fucking happening. Alright? Not a goddamn fucking thing happening between two motherfuckers that will sit there and bleed out in the fucking ring. And yet, for no reason, there's not a goddamn thing that happened here. Nothing! Nothing!
What do you mean?
And they were beating each other down until he came out.
Nothing happened! Those two... Oh, we're beating each other down. No, they weren't.
Didn't you just have that match the week before?
They literally beat the shit out of each other at SummerSlam.
Exactly.
But then in a no-holds-barred match, not a goddamn thing happened.
Because it was a story.
And then,
it wasn't about you.
And then when we got back into the ring, for some reason the fucking ring collapses.
You didn't see that superplex?
Oh, it was a superplex between a 300-pound guy and a 300-pound guy. Shut the fuck up.
600 pounds.
Oh, it was 600 pounds. Yeah, it took 900 pounds the last fucking time.
They're just not...
No,
but the time for it was
fucking Payback. Some motherfucker backstage didn't put that ring together right. Is what happened.
Tell them why you mad.
Yeah,
I'm telling you why I'm mad. Because then.
An angry little man.
Because then.
Oh no! Stop yelling. That was crazy.
He's got these serious.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns walks out, signs his fucking contract there when he was supposed to sign it fucking Friday night.
So I said, "Is Potsy okay?"
Chad, my blood pressure's good. I took my medicine. In fact, I'm still taking my medicine.
This is Potsy
And
okay?
it's like something out of Star Trek. I was wondering the same thing. Okay, yeah, no, so what you guys don't realize is that when I go on a rant, I literally just lose my shit about it.
He's crazy. I don't know.
Rob's
rant.
I'm new here, so...
Yeah, shut up, both of you!
I'm new too.
Yeah, it's Tino's first night. Potsy and Tino show for 2 fucking years, but yet it's his first goddamn night. He doesn't know what the fuck's going on with the show. And see, Katie knows. She says, "Oh, I know." But here's the thing. Roman Reigns comes down to the ring. What's he do? He sits there. He tries to pin one of them. Doesn't work. Goes to the other one. Tries to pin him. Doesn't fucking work. What's he do? He sits there. He falls out of the fucking ring. That's what he did. He fell out of the fucking ring, and then he gave one spear and then pinned somebody. That was all he fucking did.
I don't think him falling in the ring was part of that plan.
I don't know. It was the best part of the fucking match.
That bitch went to go lay on the ropes. Like, oh, they're not there. Because you can see the look on his face. It's like, oh shit.
Hey, you gotta try to be fair.
You trying to catch the rope.
Tumbled out of the fucking ring.
He's been gone for 3 to 4 months, to be fair.
That's been out 5 months.
5 months.
That wasn't in the script.
And all that motherfucker keeps doing is saying, you'd be nothing if I was here. You'd be nothing if I was here. That motherfucker fell out of the goddamn ring.
Rob, what do you expect? You remember the Royal Rumble where he slept for the whole Royal Rumble and came back?
He pulled a Titus O'Neil, damn it.
He did. He pulled a Titus slide on his way out, and nobody's making fun of him for it. They're just like, oh, the big dog's back.
Because he's the big dog.
Big dog's
He got a
back.
fresh new beard, and he take his shirt off during the match. Shirt set on the whole time. And you haven't seen him shirtless yet, have you? When he came back, he's been in that wreck everything and leave shirt the whole time. That's why I did like that match. Even though I hated it, I did hate it for everything that you hated it for. But I enjoyed it because it was a storyline. I liked that they made me hate that shit. I liked that they made me hate Roman again. He's a heel. He did exactly what a heel's supposed to do.
Now, though, the question is, because now the internet community for wrestling is sitting there, the IWC, by the way, is sitting there actually wondering whether or not they can get behind a heel Roman because it's being forced on us that he's a fucking heel now.
How's it being forced?
Your mind.
Say it one time. I'm not here one time.
I'm not even
Turn, bitches. Look. You didn't want Roman when they were forcing him down your fucking throat. You wanted him to be heel. Now he's fucking heel with Paul Heyman. I don't know if I can like him. Make up your mind. Quit being a straight up punk ass bitch. You like him or you don't.
Stop being so much of a contrarian. You don't like stuff for yourself.
I'm not sure, but I think Carson actually posted a goat.
That shit pisses me off. You whine when you don't get your way. You whine when you get your way.
It's the John Cena syndrome.
What the fuck do you want?
So for all
They want you know what they want? I'll flat out tell you. They want to be heard, but then when they're heard, they want to complain. It's fucking millennialism.
You still want to be heard. Either way, you want to be heard.
It's millennialism. You didn't do it the way that I wanted you to. These motherfuckers actually got exactly what the fuck they wanted. They got Paul Heyman with fucking Roman Reigns. They got the best heel manager out there sitting there making your man a heel, and all they do is fucking complain.
And then how you feel about Payback, though?
That's how I felt about the whole goddamn pay-per-view.
I'm saying, Payback. What did you get that you didn't want from Payback?
Payback's a bitch.
That's what the song kept saying, that they wouldn't even give that to me.
Because Apollo Lashley match was better than what I thought it would be. Actually, it was actually really good. The women's tag match
Wrong guy
was
won.
good.
The wrong guy won?
No, I knew Lashley was winning. You have
Lashley has to win that match.
Lashley has to win that match.
Like I mean,
Apollo is a mini Lashley.
And I'm saying I get that. I didn't want to see.
I'm amazed they haven't actually just said, hey, we should go ahead and put Apollo with Lashley and make.
Well, I thought I was going to
like they did with P.D. Williams and Scott Steiner.
That was
Little
funny.
Papa Pump.
That was funny.
Or Little Nate.
Little Nate.
See, everything comes around again.
What do they call Bobby? What's his name now? Bobby Lashley. He's the
CEO of the.
See,
No.
Chris Barrett actually just said, you know who deserves the Roman push? The Miz deserves the Roman push.
He deserved it 2 years ago.
I actually, so I'm very disappointed, Chris Barrett. I'll say this. I'm very disappointed that when they brought back John Morrison, that they immediately threw him into a tag team with The Miz. Because both of those guys should be higher up in the singles cards than they are. And yet, for whatever reason, the WWE looks at those two guys and goes, you're funny together, you're garbage apart. That's just the way it is.
But John Morrison left WWE and he went and got all these titles.
And he did the Drew McIntyre thing.
And came back and like, you go back with the Miz.
Yeah, now it's hey, bedazzle your abs again.
I don't get it.
And to be fair, Chris, the Miz should have got pushed right after the Talking Smack promo.
Yes, with him and Daniel Bryan.
That should have been the beginning of it.
Which, by the way, I was talking about this with you guys earlier, that there's a new show on WWE Network called Timeline. And there's an episode on The Miz and Daniel Bryan's entire thing. And it goes right into that Talking Smack moment. And it is amazing.
I gotta check that out.
And then because that one episode was so amazing, I went ahead and I watched the Randy Orton and Christian episode when Christian wanted one more match. That was a guy who never really got what he deserved as a talent because
in WWE.
Because WWE actually, Vince McMahon used to call him a creepy little bastard.
That's how Stone Cold got him.
And in fact, even called him that in the first episode of the Edge and Christian show.
Oh my God.
Which is awesome. So Monday Night Raw.
Here we go.
Wait, we gotta try to finish up at some point because we're now at the hour and a half mark.
Yes, 5 after 1.
Yeah. So
really?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is.
We're gonna do on 1. Okay.
Well, yeah, but this show's been so good, we gotta keep going.
I'm sorry, y'all. Listen to me.
Don't close yourself off to love, Chris Barrett. This could be your shot at happiness. That is true, Drew.
What the hell am I missing?
Well, yeah, what are we missing?
There's a whole nother show going on.
I know.
There is, but it's great. Chris Barrett says, I've basically grown up with The Miz. He's probably the only wrestler I've seen grow into the company. By the way, if you didn't know the whole story behind him, he obviously was on the Real World.
How old are you, Chris? I'm with you with that.
He was on the Real World. When he went to WWE with Tough Enough 2004, I believe, he was actually, he was signed by the WWE and kicked out of the locker room and by JBL. JBL's the one that kicked him out of the locker room, saying you'll never be anything because you're a punk ass bitch, basically. And paraphrasing, not the actual words he used, I'm sure, maybe some of them.
Did he get kicked out for
follow your heart?
Did he get kicked out for getting grease and crumbs and chicken grease and crumbs and Chris Benoit bag or something?
No, I don't think so. But I do know that flat out he was kicked out of the locker room. He had to actually change in the hallway where all the other wrestlers got to change in the locker room. And he worked himself all the way back up to where he actually main evented WrestleMania that involved John Cena and The Rock. And I'll tell you right now, if you've never actually watched that one moment where he comes out, what was it, SmackDown? Where he comes out with the microphone and he tells that whole story about how he was kicked out of the locker room.
Yep.
Like,
he was the U.S. champ at the time.
He was the U.S. champ at the time. And you see him and you instantly become a fan of his. Like, and I'll tell you, I hate reality television and I love Ms. and Mrs.
Wow.
I watch that show like if it is on, I can't stop watching it. If they put 6-7 episodes on, I will watch every episode that show does. Sorry, I'm plugging us in.
But let's be real. That's why Miz does have some fans.
Yes.
Miz has some fans. Like there are wrestling fans that did watch the Real World, probably like me and Chris, that knew from the get go that remember him up there getting cussed out by Coral, talking about I'm the Miz, and then he made it. To see somebody act like that, my man said we grew up with him. So to see him actually make it, to go from I'm gonna be a wrestler on some MTV show to actually really doing it.
If there's a reason to hate the Miz, it's because he actually introduced Alexa Bliss to Ryan Cabrera. If there's a reason to hate him, that's what it is, folks. So Monday Night Raw. What stood out to you? I didn't think it was a bad show. I thought it was better than the pay-per-view.
Yeah. I'm with T on this. He asked a question earlier. I want Aleister Black to explain his heel turn and why all of a sudden he's just and why Kevin Owens?
Well, okay. So I don't know what the storyline explanation is, but I do know that Kevin Owens is highly regarded in the WWE as a babyface right now. That's why he's gotten matches against Seth where he actually won. Which, the night that it happened, I was like, holy shit, he actually won that match. He lost to Randy Orton.
Yeah.
But even that was because of dastardly deeds or whatever that
lost
caused
to
it.
Orton tonight because of
Aleister Black. And apparently, backstage, the whole reason why Terrence, the whole reason why Aleister Black had turned heel is because they needed an opponent for Kevin Owens, and if Rey Mysterio had not signed with the WWE,
it would have been Seth.
It would have been Seth.
And I don't want to see it again.
I'd have been fine with it. I mean, we got it at WrestleMania, don't get me wrong. And in fact, I think the right guy went over there. But overall, I do think.
But that wasn't that feud. That feud started last year this time, right? It's not like I wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, on the Raw program, Randy Orton is the top heel right now. However, before tonight, where he got 2 victories.
Yes.
He had actually lost his last 2 matches clean.
Yes.
So they kind of had to rebuild Randy Orton tonight without destroying Keith Lee. And when that happened, Seth does not need a victory. Seth can actually eat a pin, especially after he's so mad at his disciple that he sends his disciple to the back, says he doesn't want to see him, doesn't want his help, doesn't want anything from him.
Dominated tonight.
And he'd already won a match as well. So all things considered, Seth doesn't really lose anything by losing to Randy Orton, especially after it was Keith Lee's devastating Spirit Bomb that ended up doing it. But as devastating as that Spirit Bomb was, it was nothing on the one that Dolph Ziggler ate from him.
Oh my God.
Because the way that dude bounced, I thought he broke his own back.
He even passed out in the air. How you fake pass out in the air in that 2 seconds? You just pointed out, Rob. Like, look how he popped up. And you can see his eyes closed. I'm like, oh, that's good acting.
He's out. He's out.
God dang you, dog.
You don't even have to pin it.
Out.
Dolph hit the bat and said, go to sleep.
But I have said since day one, when I sat there and called Mickey from the Spirit Squad doing the crane kick against DX, Tino, and you remember it. Tino actually sat there and said, holy shit, do you write this? But but since that moment, I have called Dolph Ziggler one thing very specific. What do I call him?
The bump machine.
The bump machine. Because he is. Dolph Ziggler, and you call him something too.
Oh, no, and I'm not going to take credit. It's from my podcast, Villains of Vinyl, VCW. But our number 4 in
Trademark.
Our number 4 in our crew, Mr. D. Daybran, he's always called Ziggler basically the Midas touch or the golden touch. Because anything that Ziggler touches or anybody that Ziggler works with, they always look good. He's over, but he can't get himself to the World Heavyweight Championship like he needs to. But if you need a good match or you need somebody to look damn good, you call Ziggler. Like you brought Ziggler. What was the reason to trade Ziggler to Raw anyway? Besides giving an opponent to Drew and makes it look good. Look at Goldberg. We were already tired of Undertaker Goldberg after that match. We wanted him just to retire, don't even come back. Goldberg came back and everybody groaned. Ziggler made Goldberg look good again.
So sorry, I completely am entranced with the chat. I've got to say, yes, Chad, to your answer, Abdullah the Butcher does have Hep C. And yes, I also believe that Bob Orton also has Hep C. I do not believe that Randy Orton has Hep C.
Oh, what?
This is part of the conversation going on in the chat.
Oh.
And I also want to welcome Mark BKR to the chat. Catrin's husband. Yes, Orange Cassidy, freshly squeezed, is in the chat right now. Nice. Mark, the question is, I have to ask right now, are you eating potatoes tonight? We're going to find out.
Potato soup.
Hey, I like some potato soup. Some
potato chips.
Ooh,
here we go.
Potato chips. Some
potato casserole.
Potato salad.
I can't believe I said it yet.
Potato bread.
Yeah.
Wow, potato bread.
Yeah, potato rolls.
What's the pancakes made out of potatoes?
Potato pancake.
Yeah. Potato cakes.
Potato cereal. Potato juice.
Potato vodka.
Vodka?
Potato
juice. Vodka? So all right, so we got more from the Hurt Business tonight. The Hurt Business, I've been saying it for weeks. Why?
Oh God.
In the hell?
You know where you're about to go with this, don't you?
I think I do.
You don't think you know.
Oh, you know.
You know.
You know. Oh, you didn't know.
Shit's about to
Am I about to get woke for a second?
you about to get woke.
Wow. Come on, guys.
It's okay. I ain't gonna get woke.
on.
I ain't gonna do that. You get woke, you get broke, as they say.
Why is it that the Hurt Business is only faced against Drew McIntyre once, against Kevin Owens once, and every other person that they fought has been Cedric Alexander, Apollo Crews, and Ricochet?
So let me get woke. Because of this organization that we're in, Vince McMahon at first is a best friend of Donald Trump. So with him, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I am just joking. No,
we might have to cut the. We might have to cut the.
Joking.
Cut
No,
the feet. Do we have to
I
cut
get what
the
you're
feet?
saying.
The views of T
Do not represent.
Not even.
Just let y'all know that was a joke because I don't care about politics whatsoever. No, but the running joke is why has it been so much black on black fight and crime with the Hurt Business?
I didn't even say crime, but okay.
He went
in different ways.
I mean, Dolph Ziggler's the one that got thrown by Bobby Lashley into the crowd, but.
Wait for the comments to roll in.
See, Katie just asked what is going on in this chat. Katie, we stopped paying attention to what's going on in the chat. I just love the fact that we have something going on in the chat. In fact, we got 10 eyes on the show right now. I don't even know what programs they're on.
Truth be told, I guess one reason we can say storyline wise, to be honest, the reason why it looks like that is because the Hurt Business, or mostly MVP, has been trying to recruit. Now, if you want to look behind the scenes, there have been rumors of a new Nation Domination or Nation Domination type group. And
yeah,
honestly,
originally that's why they brought back Mark Henry.
Because not even that. Before that, the week before they brought back Mark Henry, you saw Ron Simmons there, and he just said, "I want to talk to y'all about something." He didn't even say, "Damn." That's how you knew that it was serious. Ron Simmons was there.
Like, damn.
And I want to talk to y'all later. And he said, "Remember what this is all about?" And that was it. He never said, "Damn." That was the week before Mark Henry showed up. Ron Simmons popped up.
That was, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think I forgot about that.
And that's when I really knew that they may be trying to get together. So it will make sense storyline wise. Hey, I'm trying to recruit you. If you don't want to be a part of it, we could beat you or join. No, you can join us or we beat you. And so I could get that. But also, like I brought to you earlier, I don't know if they're even trying to, but maybe it might be part of what's going on with the circumstances. If you've really been looking at the quarantine, wrestling from the get go,
they don't necessarily want.
There's been a lot of, not that I just purposely look for, but a lot of the wrestlers right now are a lot of minority or just. It might just be because of the time that we.
Oh yeah.
It might be because of how many wrestlers we got now.
Yeah, you did mention that based on the status of the rosters and everything
like
else that
people
that
that are
could just be circumstance.
Yeah.
Although
also it might just be what WWE signed, just a talent thing right now, which that we don't realize. Because I mean, how many folks went home? How many people did they fire?
Well, they did just let go like 40-something talents. In fact, one major talent no longer under WWE contract based on what everybody's saying. Tino's not watching the show anymore. He's just hanging out off air.
I'm looking at the comments.
But one Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar.
Wow. Which is part of the reason.
I'm sorry.
But no, you're fine. You're fine.
I'm the hype guy.
Part of the reason why Paul Heyman is now with Roman Reigns is the fact that
Brock Lesnar's coming back to face Roman. You got it?
No, that's not what's no. Brock Lesnar's not under contract. He's basically sitting in Canada going, I ain't going back to the United States.
I think Brock's gonna come back though.
Oh, when we have crowds in the audience,
that's gonna be the first.
Brock Lesnar will show up that first night. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. But right now, there's no reason to pay him $12 million a year to show up 12 times and not do anything.
Because not only does Roman have his manager, Roman has a title.
And Roman owes him an ass whooping. Because, let's be real, Brock has whooped Roman in most of them fights that they fought.
Does that mean that
It's to return. I think it's.
So you.
I kind of agree with him. It may not be. It may be later than sooner, but
I think when Brock comes back, he'll be the face.
And he get a butt whipped by Roman. That return, he may win one time, but I think it's time for Roman to own him like he owned Roman.
Yeah.
Chris Barrett, that's not exactly true.
What?
You know, the last contract that Brock was under, he actually did announce on ESPN as saying that he was not only under WWE contract, but also retiring from MMA and staying specifically in his WWE contract. This time, apparently his merchandise contract is the most recent one to run out, but they said that his performance contract actually ended after WrestleMania.
His merchandise at WWE contracts one.
Yeah,
Yes, they took it down from the website yesterday. So
AEW.
So
T. Go to AEW?
hold on to answer the judgment there. A lot of people think that the budget for AEW is a lot smaller because those guys actually do make all of their money off their merchandising. So they have their own merchandise stores rather than it being run by AEW. So their contract with AEW is a lot lower because they make all their money from that. So someone like Brock,
they can't afford Brock.
They can't afford him. Based on what their budgeting is so that they can turn a profit as a league by doing broadcast on TNA only, right? So it's interesting because as things open up more and more, they have more fans in the audience and they're doing more with merchandising and stuff. It's possible that you see them go after a Brock Lesnar. It's also possible that you see them sit there and try to sign him to a contract similar to their other talents, while still a higher base level.
I'm trying to figure out how AEW can have a crowd. WWE is doing the Thunderdome, and they're both in Florida. They're both in Orlando, or that Florida area.
So at this point, if WWE wanted to open up to 10% of the crowd, they could. I think they're doing it smarter. I think the Thunderdome, they have that until at least October 31st.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they are doing the smarter thing. They're getting crowd. They need to figure out a way to pump up the volume.
Yeah, because that just sounds like it doesn't sound.
There are times where it does, but it's pumped in.
That's
what I don't like about it. They need it to be true interaction from their audience, and they're not getting that right now. And part of that's because if you're watching on your computer, you're probably not screaming and yelling at the microphone. Not to mention,
I would.
Could you imagine how much that would actually cause like reverb and nasty feedback? I mean, these people probably heard us screaming and yelling and got a or whatever throughout most of it. So Thunderdome is great. If you like, okay, Drew, I love your opinions. I'm not gonna read them on the air.
I love being in the Thunderdome, Drew. What are you talking about?
Kenny Omega loved the Thunderdome.
Did we see Tony Schiavone tonight?
I think Tony Schiavone was on there tonight on the left side. If you actually pay attention, there was definitely a guy that looked like Tony Schiavone wearing an NWO T-shirt.
You know who?
Which would be the first time Tony Schiavone wore a NWO T-shirt, by the way.
Yes.
I brought this up on the podcast. You know who? I know they hate they're not in WWE right now with the Thunderdome. T.J. Perkins.
What?
Do you remember his entrance? The whole digital video game entrance? The light, it would have looked so crazy in this Thunderdome.
Yeah,
Cause you saw Naomi's entrance.
Yes.
Naomi's entrance was crazy. His entrance was one of those crazy video games. They
Yeah.
would have been perfect in that Thunderdome. I don't know, he's sitting there in TNA like.
Okay. See, Chris Barrett even mentioned that Kenny Omega showed up on SmackDown, and the joke there on the internet, Chris Barrett, was that Kenny Omega was actually trying to learn how to book a woman's program on AEW by watching SmackDown. So
speaking of,
would you stop doing that? The microphone's right there.
The tag team women's match where the teams had to break up. The loser team had to break up.
Oh, so getting back to Monday Night Raw, one of my favorite moments. Because we had heard a couple weeks ago that one of Vince McMahon's favorite new competitors was Peyton Royce. And I don't know if that's because of her affiliation with Shawn Spears, or what the case might be. But tonight, after last night in the pre-show, having the Riot Squad get back together, live to riot, riot to live, they had the Riot Squad go up against the Iconics, and the Iconics lost. And Billy Kay is the one that lost that match.
William.
Who?
Stop it.
Billy Kay lost that match. And I wonder if this now means that a singles push for Peyton Royce is coming. However, they did go one step further by having them enter Raw Underground, where Shane McMahon was interviewing both of them, and then when Jessamine Duke decided
her and the other girl,
her and Marina Shafir were not done yet, Peyton Royce threw Billy Kay into two of the four horsewomen.
Well, they looked like, I thought they were supposed to be a tag team.
Yeah, they were challenging both of them.
And Peyton said, nope.
And because they broke up.
She's like, yeah, we got you.
Yeah. Yep. And of course, Billy Kay's like, what? Why would you do what?
He got a perfect annoying.
That was my first favorite moment. No, that was my second. My first favorite moment is during the match.
Riddick Moss.
No, not that one.
No,
this was when the Street Profits were facing
fucking Titus O'Neil, man,
with Andrade and Garza. And then
your Zelina Vega moment.
Retribution came in. Well, first of all, Garza took the blonde chick and he was out.
Yeah.
And then they jumped the Street Profits and Andrade, and then the females surrounded Zelina, and she was like, hell with it. And she started swinging. She was like
throwing bows.
Yeah, because she knew what was about to go down. So that was my second favorite. Just that whole thing was just hysterical. Selena was like, all right.
I'm glad they let Selena fight more.
Yeah.
Because apparently she's really a great wrestler.
And then my second favorite part of that was they were backstage, and Garza's like, yes, they're fine. I would never leave you. I want to make sure you're safe.
and then Retribution comes into the door.
And I called, I was like, he's about to run.
Yeah. And they came in, and he took off, and she went. And she did not want to.
See, I actually like the Akira Tozawa moment
too.
Where Akira Tozawa and all of his ninjas were in a minivan trying to get in, and of course R-Truth ended up paying a referee to say that they weren't on the list, and he left one of his ninjas in the parking lot as he drove off with the door still open, but they took the dude with them.
At least the dude had time to jump out of the van if he wanted to. He had enough time to jump out of the van.
He's sitting in the car like this. Like when they drove by, he's like,
he was sitting there like this. We're like, yo, you had time to get out. You
don't know if someone's arms were like holding him back. I mean, come on.
I had a gun on his back, right?
Anyways, so yeah, I liked all those moments. Like I said, Raw was more fun than the pay-per-view.
And we talked last week about the wrestling needs to be. We need to have more of that. Remember, we had a conversation about Raw needs to be more fun. Wrestling needs to be fun.
Well, the statement came up on Busted Open, and I don't mind giving them props where I actually agree with what they're saying. But they said that when you're in a moment and you have competition that's more fun than your program, you need to at least give a couple moments of fun to at least say, hey, if you watch our program, we're fun too, right? And they gave fun moments. And they look like natural fun moments. Yes. You know, we all know that R-Truth is probably the funniest thing going on most WWE programs.
You see where they he busted Shayna Baszler? He made her laugh.
I heard that was funny.
They were on. I think it was like
Raw Talk. Oh, was his show? Was it a game show?
No, it was Raw Talk. They were being interviewed, and they were talking about catering, and they were like, I don't like the fish, and she's like, I don't like the fish or something like that. He goes, oh, the fish is good. She goes, no, it's nasty. He goes, you must not be putting tartar sauce on yours. And you see Shayna like this, and you see her shoulders, but she broke, but and when she came back up, she had a straight face again. But for that split second, she went down, and her shoulders, got her.
So you're saying that Shayna's the new Undertaker, where the idea is to break them and actually have.
I don't even know if he was trying to break her. I think he was just being R-Truth. And for a moment there,
you can't. There's times, R-Truth, you can't not help on that laugh.
Chris Barrett, I'm gonna go ahead and say that up until the Saturday version of AEW, that Brody Lee was kind of a waste in AEW, and then finally got his comeuppance, and finally showed that he deserves to be a main event player. I'm not sure that the Dark Order is still the best place for him, but right now, the way that he not only throws and destroys his own guys, and also does it with people like Cody, he's basically showing that like everything he's doing is gold at the moment, and that's why he's got the gold, right? But I still wonder if long-term planning for him is.
I mean, who are they going to put him against? I mean.
Yeah, because, I mean, like, the Murderhawk, didn't Cody beat him?
Did Cody beat him? Yeah, I think Cody did beat him.
Yeah, Cody beat him. So, Brian Cage.
Maybe. Moxley eventually.
I think they actually did, like tease Brian Cage, like, this week on AEW.
Was that who... Was he in the ring when he came out?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did, because Taz...
Yeah, because Taz was like, Mr. Brody Lee, I do like you, but, you know, and did his whole Taz thing.
So who's the faces? Do they turn Cage face? Because Brody right now is killing that Monster Hill.
Yeah, and no reason to change that.
Yeah,
right.
So
but Brian Cage he lost his match against Mox, and now where is he? Right? Like, what do we do now? So. And you can't do the same thing they just did with Cody with him, right? They can't have someone like Cody take another beating like that. It's bad enough that they're making Dustin and everybody else, and the only one out there that I'm like, what the hell is he doing? What the hell is he doing? Is freaking Colt Cabana, boom boom.
Yeah, that's what are they doing?
Like sitting there like on the side going, I don't want to get in the ring with these guys. Like, can we just? But, you know, it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
So, ending Monday Night Raw, we got the three-way dance match. We already talked about it a little bit. We got Randy versus Keith Lee versus Seth Rollins.
Which we all knew.
They want to keep Keith Lee strong. He got a victory over Randy Orton, and I want to point out that not only did they want to keep him strong, but Randy didn't even try. After giving him an RKO, did not even try to pin him. He literally just went, nope, and went to Seth, who had just been spirit bombed out of his pants.
And I think that's why. I think he kind of knew that Keith Lee might kick out of that RKO, but Seth wasn't moving. Seth was out.
I almost argued it.
Chris Barrett says that his biggest problem with AEW is that they don't have any real creative talent behind them. Cody is focusing too much on trying to trademark Dusty's creations instead of actually using them. Dr. Drew, thank you so much for being a part of the show. Love you as always, and we'll see you next time, I'm sure.
Thank you, Drew. Love that opinion.
Yeah,
that's something to think about.
But I don't know if that's
just something to think about. I agree. Just something to think about.
Wow.
AEW is fun to watch, sure, and this is Drew's opinion. AEW is fun to watch. WWE is not. Whose creative is failing, and you know,
I think AEW is still new and it's still fresh and it's something totally different than what we've been used to seeing with the WWE and even the WCW. I like that they're using they came in like everybody gets a chance. They're using a lot of these indie guys. A lot of when NWA shut down, I guess now we found out the Corrigan was bankrupt or whatever. But a lot of those NWA talents are coming into AEW, and I like it. These are talents that unless you watch NWA on YouTube like I did, you don't know a lot of these names. So now you got Thunder Rosa, you've got Ricky Starks, you've got what's my other man's name? Kingston. Eddie Kingston's coming in now. They've
Warhorse. They didn't sign him.
I don't blame them. But I like that they
are. He eats ass or whatever it was. Was that what he said?
They are willing to
Warhorse
bring in these.
Eats ass.
And this is why I don't get a word in edgewise, because he makes me lose my train of thought because he talks over me.
Oh, come on, it was hilarious.
Keep going. I'm trying to.
I forgot. I forgot what I was.
So
saying.
Eddie
You
Kingston,
talking about Eddie Kingston, people from NWA coming over to AEW.
Thunder Rosa,
I lost it.
Billy Corgan.
I lost it. Asshole.
You say he likes the AEW is bringing in some of the NWA talent.
Yeah, but I was going somewhere.
You want somewhere?
I was going somewhere with
I was trying to keep you back. I was trying to bring you back.
I can't remember what it was now.
Damn Potsy.
What did she say?
Katie said, "Nighty night, guys. Thanks for the laughs." Katie,
Katie.
Hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much.
I got your red oak coming.
So Carson, I agree that Nick Aldis needs to be on one of these programs, and
It's
while
probably WWE.
while I think that AEW is a fine home for him, I would actually love to see him in New Japan.
Mm.
I would also like to see him actually in NXT.
He's coming because Mickey's here, so I got a feeling he's going to follow Mickey.
AEW is honestly the new WCW. They're playing with someone else's money. That's not a bad statement there. You're actually very true, very very right there, Chris Barrett. They're working with too many other promotions, and they lack solid creative. I don't think they lack solid creative. I think they've got very creative people. The question is, what's the ultimate direction of some of these creatives? You know, like someone like Jericho at the beginning was sitting there getting on and actually like yelling at the tag team creative because they weren't getting like they weren't listening to rules. And if there are no rules, then you end up faltering with who's the babyface and who's the heel. So this is one of the reasons why I love FTR in AEW is the fact that they re-put in the tag ropes. They actually said that they only have a 5-second time that they can be in the ring. Otherwise, there's a lot of things there that AEW realizes that they made a mistake on because they brought in a lot of Mexican wrestlers who don't necessarily listen to the rules or have those same rules, and because of that they had to kind of like create a way to put the rules back in place, right? And that's why a team like FTR is sitting there saying, "Oh, when we're in there, we're gonna have tag ropes. Oh, when we're in there, we're gonna have that 5-second rule. When we're in there, if the referee doesn't catch it, it doesn't count. Kind of like whatever the rule might be. But they're kind of utilizing their talent to remind people of what the rules are supposed to be, so they can put them back in place.
Gotcha.
Am I wrong?
No, I agree.
So it's being old school, so it can show you how old school.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm almost surprised that they didn't ban the over the top rope kind of disqualification, kind of thing. If they wanted to go old school with it, in some ways, I do think that AEW is a throwback to NWA/WCW because they are different because of these rules.
And Chris Barrett even just said that he thinks that Jericho should be the head of AEW Creative.
Yes, most definitely.
He's the most experienced and has been through the territories. While I kind of agree with you, I think that Chris Jericho's spot with AEW is something where he's not necessarily the head of creative, but he is definitely a voice that is truly listened to. And at this point, he's kind of given carte blanche on what he wants to do. The matches he wants to have, he has them. I mean, the fact that he lost on free TV to Orange Cassidy says something about what he is willing to do for the business, right? But at the same time, giving him full power over creative probably isn't exactly what he wants, because he's really more interested in putting over new guys, but also making sure that his storyline follows what he wants.
Okay.
Like he doesn't need to be over, but yet he'll get whatever it is over. I mean, he's got a Mimosa Mayhem match coming up where it's pinfall, submission, or you go into an 80-gallon vat of mimosa, which, by the way, you dump me in there, it's going to be gone.
I'm going to lose on purpose. What are you talking about?
See, this guy knows.
I lose on purpose. Like, yo, hit me, throw me.
Yeah, just hip toss. There you go. Into the mimosa.
You want to break a record? Want to break a record for the quickest match ever? Just meet me at the cooler.
I wonder.
I'm gonna pull a Titus. I
wonder if they're gonna change the rules to have to be in the mimosa for at least 3 seconds or whatever. Like because
I go swimming. Hey.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be like he gets the win, but I win. You know, like that's really what it is there. Drew says that the ratings are solid. The company is growing and had the best wrestling on TV currently. I'm sure they need your help at Chris Barrett. AEW is doing what makes them happy. I think that their women's division still needs some work. I think that their tag team division, while you tend to think that it's going pretty well, seems to have lack of direction half the time.
And WCW was good too for a little while.
And WCW was fine for a long while. But folks, we are now at the 2-hour mark. Tino was not expecting to be doing this long tonight.
CM Punk.
Yes, sir.
I want to thank everybody that's actually joined us. Make sure that you are subscribed to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/RobPodcheck. Make sure that you are following the Twitch channel if you're watching us on there, twitch.com/RobPotsyPodcheck.
Wow.
Follow him on Twitter at HootieFan91. Follow him on Instagram at SCTino.
Yep.
Follow this guy. Where are you?
Okay. So
oh God, here we go. Okay.
I am on Twitter and Instagram under the same name, John_T_Helios, like the sun god Helios.
HELIO.
Thank you. S. Thank you. But it's not even about me. It's about my crew. Villains of Vinyl, the four-headed monster, the coolest motherfuckers on the planet, as we say on every podcast. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Villains in the letter N Vinyl, all one word. Villains and Vinyl.
But Villains isn't spelled like villains, is it?
No, it's spelled like VILLAINS.
IANS, yes.
No, AINS.
Villains.
Villains. We spell like that.
Villains. Okay.
We spell Villains.
All right. Cool.
And Vinyl.
And also, we are also on our podcast is on Spotify, Apple Music, Podbeans, at Villains. Use the ampersand here. Use the ampersand.
Okay.
An and sign.
Okay.
Villains and Vinyl. You can find us.
No,
I be telling people.
No, you're good.
I'm talking about use the ampersand. What's an ampersand? Oh my God.
Yes, no, I know what an ampersand is.
What is wrong with y'all?
I also know how to use the Oxford comma, as I mentioned earlier.
I know how to use a colon too. Good night, everybody.
Wow. And you can follow me on Instagram at Rob Podcheck. You can follow me on Twitter at Podcheck. You can follow Junior High Horrors, where we are still doing the Indiegogo. Please help us, support us, do all that good stuff. I want to go ahead and thank C. Woodard, Chad, Drew Manchu, Catrin Figures, Mark BKR, Caitlin, all the new ones that were in here tonight. Let's see, Cletus Curtis, Chris Barrett. I feel like I'm on Reading Rainbow or something right now, sitting there saying thank you to everybody. It's in our book. It's reading. Okay, we'll probably get sued. We can't do that. But we will.
Yes, we do want to say thank you to Adam's House Cat, as always, for our theme song, The Wrestling Song. You can buy it on iTunes for 99 cents. And as always, folks, we like to say, in Charlotte, in that big house on the hill, we hear Mr. Ric Flair, and he is saying,
woo! Good night, everybody.
Everybody wants to live it, ain't you, boy? I know, right? But I am the man of the hour, the tower of power, too sweet to be sour, make you scream, oh! Like Jerry Power, there have been many imitations, but only one, Nature Boy. I am the greatest thing going today. Whether you like it or not, you better learn to love it, because